Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope you are having a wonderful first day of the month. Happy July 1st. Today I'm super excited to share with you some projects using the Spellbinders card kit of the month. It's called Sweet and Cool. I have everything here. I'm going to go over the kit contents and then we're going to jump in and create some projects. I mentioned the name of the kit is called Sweet and Cool, and your kit will arrive in this zipper pouch, so it's nice for storage. And then you also get a content sheet. Tells you everything here that's in the kit. And then there's an inspirational card project on the reverse side. We'll put that off to the side, and then we'll go over the rest of the kit. You get 8 card bases. These are A2 in size. They're side folding, and there is a little bit of texture to them. And then you get some envelopes. You get 8 of them that have the V flap. And those are what we're going to be using for our cards today. Also included in the kit are some card front panels. You get 20 of them. And I like that they included white because I like to layer with white. And you get, these are, I mentioned A2, you get 4 of each panel. You get a blue, you get a real bright yellow, a real soft pink, a purple, and then we get white this month, which I will use a lot of because I like to layer on top of my card bases. So 20 A2 card front panels. You get pattern papers. I can see already that some of the patterns have some gold detail on here. I can already tell that's going to be my color theme. I love this color palette. Maybe, don't quote me on that, we'll see. But get some stripes. I'm not going to go through all of, oh how cute is this? They're little clouds. I have them upside down, but fishes, clouds, sea, sprinkles. Oh, that's going to be very hard to pick a favorite. Look at this, is summery and sunshiny. Lots of fun patterns in here. And so you get pattern papers. These are single-sided, 6 by 6. You also get some chipboard stickers. You get 2 sheets. You get some on the front, some on the back. You get some sentiments in here. A lot of cute little elements, including of that watermelon. Back side, you have surfboard. You have a bathing suit and some more fun sentiments. Chipboard stickers are always nice because it adds a little bit of dimension. You get, oh, these are fun. Now I love these enamel dots. I love the color of them. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 different colors. You get a whole package of those. Double-sided adhesive and foam squares. I don't use this in my videos, but this is wonderful. The foam tape, I prefer a little bit thinner because I like lots and lots of layers, but it does work good. I've used it before. And then your double-sided tape works really good too. I just use my tape runner because it speeds the video up a little bit, but it works fabulous. So you get some of that. You get some confetti. I'm calling it confetti because there's no holes in it. And it looks like there's 2 different sizes. Lots of sparkle here. You get some puffy stickers, and these are not puffy, but they look puffy. So the nice thing about these stickers is they'll keep their shape. Sometimes when you have the stickers that smush, and when you peel them off, they lose their shape. But these, let me show you. I'll take the H. These keep their shape. So really nice for placing. And there's lots of fun sentiments, summer sentiments in here. Boy, we can't beat the heat over here. We have lots of heat. We broke out the blow-up pool for the backyard. If you look at it, it kind of looks like a jacuzzi, but because our kids won't swim in it, but the husband does. And then we have, oh, I'm not going to go through all of the die cuts, but you can see the amount that we get. Lots and lots and lots of ephemera. Lots. Huge amount. I'm going to go through this and pick what we're going to use for our cards today. And before I grab some papers and pick some ephemera, I do want to mention you get 2 of each, which makes it really nice for duplicating. So the 3 cards I make today you can turn into 6 if you wanted to, unless I use 2 of the patterns. But we're going to go ahead and put everything aside. I'm going to pick out a color palette, because that's what I like to do. I like to figure out my color palette and then roll with that, and then I will be right back. For my first card, we're going to kind of make a tropical card, and throughout my cards today with the Spellbinders card kit, I'm going to be using my Postage Edge die set. This is a nice die set that has pierced detail, and that's what I use to cut out this pattern paper. I don't know if the camera will pick up that pierced detail, but this is the card front panel, and that's the largest, so it's 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. I also took the width of this and put it on a piece of cardstock. That way I would have the pierced detail on the left and the right. What we're going to do is, and you can see here, my panel I created with the white A2 panels that were in our kit this month. I used this die here to cut this out, just for a little bit of extra detail on my panel. We're going to layer this print on this print and then adhere them to our card base. Just want to make sure it opens the right way, and it should fit it perfectly because it is A2. So we have our pattern paper on our card front. I love how bright and cheery this is. And you know what, I have to say, it was very difficult for me. Usually I have a color theme, but the pattern papers were so similar and bright and cheery, I couldn't pick just like 3 or 4. So I brought in more than I normally do. If you don't have the Postage Edge, no worries. I think a stitched edge would be just as pretty. This is 3 1/4 inches wide by 4.5 inches tall. Yes. Okay, what I'm going to do is place my sentiment. I like Life is Cool. I'm going to place that on here. Now what I did is trimmed this away from the acetate here just to make it easier. But I like the placement of the letters and also the sentiment, except for the hay. Of course, we're not going to use that. In fact, we can go ahead and trim the hay away. And I just made a rhyme. We're going to trim the hay away. So we have Life is Cool. Now, I'm going to go ahead and remove all the inside pieces. Removed all the inside pieces. Now, I have a kind of a theory on how to keep the placement of these letters, because I know I can't do it as perfect as this. So I'm going to bring in, it's just a strip of white cardstock, and then I'm going to bring in my tape. I think if you were to use washi tape, you could do the same thing. I'm going to add my tape to the strip of paper here. So if I flip it around, I have the tape adhered, the adhesive part on the top. And then what I'm going to do is fold over the bottom half of the letters. Now I'm going to use my scissors and kind of go under halfway mark of my letters here. I'm going to bend the plastic as I go. Just kind of putting, you see how the scissors underneath the letter? I'm going to follow it all along, about at the halfway mark. I might have to lift these up a little bit. Okay. And you know what? I don't think I'm going to even need this. Let's go from here. So let's place our letters where we want it to go. So they're adhered down really. I don't think I'm going to need this. Okay, so scratch that. Maybe scratch that. So press the bottom part of those letters down really good. So you can see the acetate here. This bottom part stuck to our card. So now I'm going to fold over the acetate, and then I'll just remove the release paper. And all but the S came up. And then I'll press those down. And we will go ahead and do the the eye. I think that's pretty straight. Okay, I'm going to take the dot of my eye and I'm going to go ahead and add that. That doesn't have to be perfectly placed. And then I'm going to take my life. You can see on the plastic where your letters were, so I'll use that as a guide. I can actually go over it here. I'm going to fold down my acetate and then I'll trim that away. It's easier to do with the second one. So half of the adhesive's on there and the other half is exposed. And so the acetate's still on there. What we're going to do is fold it over and gently remove the acetate here. So you can see it's kind of bent. And then we'll just lay them flat. And I think we got them as positioned as well as we could. We have this dot of this eye. I'll just scoot that over here. And that worked better than this theory. Don't ask where I was going with this because my idea was to do the same thing but transfer this to this. So we didn't need to do that. We have our sentiment and I do have some pop-up foam. I'm going to go ahead and add that directly to this panel. Right behind it for a little dimension. And then I'll place this panel on my card base. We'll put it right in the center. Now we have a few die cuts, ephemera. We have both of the watermelons and the lemons. I'm going to directly adhere one of the watermelon to my panel. And I love when things overhang a little bit. Actually, we'll scoot it over a little more. We'll add that. And then for this one, I'm going to pop up with some foam tape or foam squares. And then we also have the larger florals. There's 2 florals in there. I'm going to add a foam square behind one side. And then we'll place this. So the other side that doesn't have the foam tape is overlapping on our watermelon. For finishing touches for this card, I'm going to bring in our enamel dots and we're going to add a few to our background. Okay, and that will finish off my first card. We're going to jump into our next card. For my next card, we're going to use the fish ephemera and also the little splashes. I have the chipboard sticker that says Days Like These, and then I have the foam sticker that says Good Times. I'm using these 2 pattern papers for my card. And then I think they go really good with the sentiments. I also created some postage edge panels using the same Spellbinders postage edge die set. So these are meant to layer all 3 together, like so. If you layer this on here, and then this on here. And I think I'm going to pop this up actually with some foam. But this will layer right on here. So you see how they perfectly layer? Just like they're situated in here. I'm actually going to take these 3, layer them together, and I'm going to place them on my card base. Now with this panel, we are going to flip it around. I'm going to go ahead and add some adhesive behind here, and then I'm going to place my pop-up foam behind it just to make it easier. Okay, we have our fish. We're going to bring in some small foam squares. I put some foam squares behind my fish and also some of those splashes, but I do want to add a little bit of color behind here. So I'm going to bring in some Distress Oxide ink. I'm going to bring in Salvage Patina, and we're going to add a little color on our background. I'm just going to use my blending brush for that. I'm going to start in the middle and I'm going to kind of fade out. Kind of went a little heavy, but that's okay. The fish will cover it. I'm going to take this panel, we'll flip it around. I'm going to add some of my tape behind our foam, our pop-up foam, and place this right in the center for a little dimension. And then I have my fish. We're going to overlap these in the middle. And then I noticed in our chipboard stickers there's also some darker splashes. And I might use some of these, but we're going to add our larger ones in the corners. And we have this small one over here. There's 3 of the chipboard splashes in total. I'll use all 3 of those. Oh, I just think that looks really cute. Okay, so we won't use these ones. We'll put those back in our die cut pack. And then we'll add our sentiments. So this is more like a just because card. We'll add this one, and then we'll add our good times. I'm going to go ahead and add a foam square behind my foam sentiment. And I think this is so cute. That finishes off card 2. Again, for my next card, we're using the same postage edge. This will be good with scalloped and edge too. So if you have a scalloped die set, you could do some layering too. But this is a card front panel. We're going to go ahead and adhere this to the front of our card. It says Fun in the Sun. Now that this is matted on my pattern paper, I have some more of my Distress Oxide inks. What we're going to do is ink blend a 2-tone background, but just in the center, just for a little added color. So I'll start with my Salvage Patina, and we'll just do a little bit of shading here. I think that's just the right amount. I'm not going to add any water to it. I don't think it made that much of a difference. But now what we're going to do is take our umbrella. I'm going to flip it around and I'm going to use my tape runner. I'm not going to worry about the umbrella bottom, but I'm going to add this to our center. I'm not going to tack down this side just yet because I think I'm going to take my little sunshine ephemera and I'm going to add this too underneath it. We're going to create some layers. I think that looks cute. We have our little beach hat. I'm going to flip this around. We have our little sentiment that says Beach Life. We're going to add a foam square behind both of these. Add our Beach Life here, right at the bottom of the umbrella. We have the adorable little chipboard crab. We're going to add that. And then for my sentiment, I'm just going to put Endless Summer. Right across the top here. I'm going to flip this around. We're going to put our pop-up foam and then I'll place it on my card front. Okay, and then I'll use my scissors. There's a little overhanging. I will trim away the excess. And then we're going to bring in some of our enamel dots. Maybe just a couple. And that will finish off that card. We're going to move along to our final card today. We're using the same, again, the postage edge, but this time I die cut out the larger postage edge to go behind my dotted detail with vellum. We're going to go ahead and layer these together. I like adding vellum with just to create a little bit of softness. And since we're creating a cloudy background for this card, I thought the vellum would be perfect for this. I have an A2 panel. I just trimmed it with my trimmer, so it's 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. We're going to go ahead and adhere this to the front of our card bases. Usually, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but usually I like to leave a little bit of a border on my card bases, but I love the pattern paper so much, and since I'm doing a lot of layering with it, I really wanted it to show up on my card bases. So for all of my cards, I actually covered the entire card front. Isn't that so pretty? I love this pattern. I'm going to go ahead and take this, put some foam tape behind it, actually some pop-up foam. I'm going to go ahead and adhere this to the front of our card base. This works really good with pop-up foam, whereas my dot runner doesn't work very well. So if you use pop-up foam, the tape runner works really good for that. We'll adhere that to the bottom. Okay, we're going to add one of our clouds here. And this one I'm going to pop up with some foam squares. There was I love the yellow polka dot heart. So we get 2 of them in our die cut pack, but I'm just taking one of them. I'm going to add some foam, a small foam square behind here. I'm going to add that on my little clouds. I'll take my chipboard sticker. Oops. And I will add that little heart. And for my sentiment, I have the chipboard sticker that says hello and the chipboard sticker that says sunshine. I think that looks very cheery. I'm going to bring back my enamel dots and we're going to add a few here. I was using the pick end of my tool, but I'm thinking these are stuck down there really good, so my wax pencil is not sliding them. So that's why I'm using my craft pick here. And that will finish my card today. Let's take a look at all 4 cards that we made today with the Spellbinders Card Kit of the Month, the Quick and Easy Card Kit of the Month for July 2023. It's called Sweet and Cool. And we have some super fun sweet and cool projects. I hope this gives you some ideas on how to create with the kit. I'm so glad you joined me. Thanks for sticking with me to the end. Have a wonderful day, and we will see you soon.